Good morning, everyone. Onegashimasu. How nice to see you all. This morning, or for some of you this evening, I'm going to read Shokushu number 20 in Toku. Just like the number 1 can never become 0, our words or actions never disappear once they are created. A good action causes a good result, and a bad action causes a bad result. This always returns to ourselves. A good action means acting without expecting a reward or a return, or getting attention from people, or bringing happiness and success to ourselves and to our descendants. This is called Intoku in the Japanese language. The highest form of Intoku is to practice the way of the universe, leading others and supporting their practice of this principle. Last week, or last session I had with you, I talked about the first principle of ki meditation, which is a posture of holding. And the second principle of ki meditation is a posture of letting go, right? And this is why I read the Shokushu. I selected this Shokushu in Toku for us this morning. Of course, when we think about letting go, we immediately think about letting go of our attachments or letting go of things we're clinging to. And that's very real and something we have to notice all the time. How we try to keep things to be the same, the way they are, and how we run away from things that we don't want. But since this is ki meditation, we want to make sure that we're living our meditation in the same way that a wise person lives their life, which is a life of adventure, a life of discovery, not a life of repeated achievement. Right? In other words, when we're going into ki meditation, whether it's ki breathing or ki meditation or mind-body meditation or any form, we're entering a world that is unknown to us. Now, we sometimes forget that this is the same in daily life. Every moment is new and original. No moment is ever repeated. So, in our daily life, as we go into the day, we're going into a day that we've never had before. And we have no clue what is going to happen. Anything could happen. But when we make a goal that we want to achieve, we limit the possibilities of that day. Sometimes this is a good thing. You don't want to be all over the place. But in ki meditation, when you set a goal or set an expectation, or when you are looking for some kind of reward or result of the practice itself, then you tremendously limit what can happen. Because when we set a goal, when we cling to an idea in meditation, that means it's something that we already know about. We've heard about, at least, so we think we know about that, and we're looking for exactly that kind of result. Right? But if we let go of that kind of expectation, that kind of guidance in our meditation, and we just let it be open and just do the practice. Maybe it's just ki breathing, just following the breath. Maybe it's just kakudayo shujuo. And maybe it's just following all aspects of your body through your mind. You know, in ki meditation, Doi Sensei's Ki meditation, he gives us expansion, Kakudaiho, and collection or concentration, Shuchuo. When we are collecting the whole universe into our one point, this is holding. This is the feeling of holding. And when we're expanding, we're opening ourselves to all possibility. This is letting go. Sometimes we get caught up with Kakudaiho, Shuchuo, Kakudaiho, Shuchuo. And we forget that there's no expectation there. It's open in both ends. It's infinitely open this way and infinitely open this way. It continues forever. So holding isn't a stoppage. Holding is just being completely present with whatever it is that's here. And letting go isn't any kind of requirement. It's letting go of all requirements. The two of these together are what we call harmony, or harmonious living. Next week, or next time I teach, will be the third principle of Ki Aikido, Ki meditation, which is a posture of harmony. Where we have to have both holding and letting go, which create the same transcendent quality, feeling, experience within us. When we can rest in holding and rest in letting go, we have a great feeling of harmony, or being one with the universe. Aikido. Sometimes we say the way to harmony with Ki of the universe. Same as the way to love with Ki of the universe, the way to union with Ki of the universe. Okay, let's do some Ki breathing. Sometimes when we hear these great principles of Doi Sensei's, like a posture of letting go, we think to ourselves, I should be doing that. I better learn to do that. I think I need to have a posture of letting go. But we have to be careful, because that's turning it into a goal. That is making letting go of reward a reward. It's making letting go of a result become a result in our mind that we have to achieve. And of course, this is not letting go. It's the opposite. We're born with this package. We call this package original mind or original condition. And letting go is a part of that. It's not something that we have to develop or achieve. It's already here. But as our ego mind develops over the years, it begins to add on to the original condition. That's its job. It adds on to, in an effort to succeed at its own goals. It adds all these things on top of original condition. So sitting in meditation is really resting. It's really patiently allowing everything to settle down. So all the extras that we're requiring, we let go of. Or in other words, they just drop away. So as we practice through the years, have, we become calmer. And we accept more what this condition already is. And beginning to appear in us then are these qualities that Doi Sensei points to when he talks about the 5 principles of this or that. So holding is an original quality. A posture of letting go is discoverable within our condition. This is very different than the way we're used to going about achieving things, practicing things. So we want to be careful that we practice openly with allowing all possibilities. All right, so if you have any questions or comments, I'd certainly like to hear them. Please feel free to speak up.
Sensei, good morning. This is Kayomi. Good morning,
everybody.
everybody.
Good morning.
Sensei, my question is about the first principle you mentioned 2 weeks ago. You mentioned that Suzuki Sensei was holding students even during the break. And I would like to know what it means, teacher holding students. And also you mentioned we as a student must hold the teachers. And I don't think I understand what it is like, what it means. That's different from thinking positively about them, right? So would you please help me to understand it?
Thank you. That's a good question. I'll do my best. Compassion is when we want what is best for someone else, to put it very simply. It's not that we don't want what is best for us. It's just that our attention is spent instead on what is best for someone else. When a teacher holds a student, he or she holds the student with compassion in their heart because they want what's best for the student. So think about if what Suzuki Sensei was saying to me there is, when you finish teaching, maybe while you're teaching, you want what's best for the student. But when you're finished teaching, are you still in that state of mind? Are you still, do you still have a posture of holding? Or do you now have a posture of taking? Did you switch what is most important to you to, now I need to take care of myself. I need to get some sleep. I need to get some food. I need to have some fun, some social time. Those things all will happen. But they'll happen with us holding one state of mind or another. Does that make sense? And then the same thing, think about if you're a student. And we talk about holding your teacher. So in the beginning, when we're a student, we're really there to harvest. We're there to learn, to take, to soak up like a sponge everything the teacher has to offer. So we have this habit of looking at the teacher as our supplier of goodness. And even sometimes when the teacher has to correct us, maybe we're even a little frightened of the teacher. So we're far from holding the teacher. We're in fact clinging to the teacher and pushing the teacher away. We have this give and take Well, actually taking and pushing away, taking what's good and pushing away what we don't like. So we always say that as a student, we have to first learn to love our teacher. Once we learn to love our teacher, then we can begin to learn how to love everybody else. Because that's actually what we're doing with everybody in our life. We're taking everything they have to offer that we like and rejecting, turning away everything that we don't like. So holding is, like I said, is this original condition. It's this original state of mind. It's a state of mind of just being in acceptance and wanting what is best for the other person. Imagine wanting what is best for your teacher. Because what is best for your teacher is what is best for you. That's what we learn in Otomo. When we really learn to do Otomo, we see that we're actually taking the best care of ourselves when we're taking care of our teacher. When we're ignoring our teacher or not thinking about our task of caring for another, we're focused on ourselves. This is not our highest self. This is not our best way. Because we've shifted again from caring about the other one to caring only about ourselves. All those good things will come to us. And all the bad things, everything happens to us. Holding and letting go, these principles are how to sit in meditation. And no matter what arises, we just notice it. We don't say, it's bad. Excuse me, we don't say it's good. We just sit with it and hold it in our hearts.
Thank you, Sensei.
Yeah, this is not like mathematics. I'm not giving you a form here. I'm doing my best to not give you a form. So that means it's like a koan. You have to sit with it. And that's the whole point of practicing meditation, isn't it? To patiently sit with these questions that we have. What is this holding in me? What is this letting go? Yes?
Yes, Sensei. May I ask just one more question?
Yeah, of course.
While I was listening, I teach small children like kindergarteners and second graders. So I think I'm doing the best. I think the best for them while I'm teaching. But at the end of school, I'm so happy to return them to their parents because it's quite exhausting. And you mentioned that, I shouldn't think of, maybe it's opposite from after that, I think of myself, take care of myself, sleep well for the next day. So how do I balance it? Because if I'm thinking of those kids every day, every moment, I think I'm not sure how I can hold them calmly. I don't know, I'm sorry. I have a hard
it's
time.
like we talk about keeping one point. Always we rest in one point. But we never think about one point. When you're thinking about the kids, you're not really holding them. Don't worry about thinking. Just rest in caring. There doesn't have to be an object to that caring. When we say holding the students or holding the teacher, I mean, I'm giving you subject-object, but actually holding is objectless. Letting go is objectless. I give you all these examples of letting go of what, this, that. All these examples of holding, all these different, but actually, when you get right down to it, it's a state of mind, a state of being that's just holding. The universe, if you're going to say something, say everything. Letting go of everything, let it go of nothing. Same thing, not different. It's like, you always hear this emptiness or empty mind. This sounds so out there, so unachievable, and yet it's just right here. This is all it is. It's just being completely present, without any requirement or demand. I know you know what that's like. So we practice this. This is our practice.
Thank you, Sensei. To know doing, it's more like I don't have to do anything, but being.
It's being.
Thank you.
But there is a difference, even though a posture of holding and a posture of letting go, I say, are the same. They're just being. But they're a different way of looking at that same being. There's 5 of them in these principles. There are probably many, many more, but he mentions 5 that we're discussing. And those 5 are just like the 4 basic principles, are 4 different ways of looking at mind-body unification. These are 5 different ways of looking at the state of being we call key meditation. Okay. Thank you very much. Good question. I'm sure everybody had that question. All right. Would anyone else like to say something? Question, comment. How does this affect you? I have the feeling, I know that I notice that at the end of these classes, at the end of every class, we really return. We really evolve to the same place. This business of just being here, now. It's a cliche, but that's our practice. When we examine all of these different principles that we're taught, and all these different exercises, and all these different trainings, practices that we have, they all lead to one thing: being here completely. So this is really wonderful. I hope you like this practice as much as I do. So we'll have if you're I'm gonna say domo arigatou gozaimashita, and then I also have to say that in 5 minutes I understand we're having a Hawaii Key Federation board meeting. So if you're on the board, please remain. If you're not on the board, you are free to go. Thank you very much.